Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I am back with you and Pink and Main, and tonight is going to be very interesting. So, in the description of wherever you're watching, there's a link to Sylvie's blog post. She also has a like a reel on Instagram sharing the process, but there is a link to this amazing wobble tower card of all of these little mugs. And we had a request yesterday to try out the technique that she used with some string on the background to make our own wobbling mug tower. So I watched the reel, I read the blog. Thank you so much to Sylvie. It's Sylvie at Callie's Cards. She's tagged, her post is tagged. You should go follow her, show her some love. She's one of my co-Pink and Main design team members, and she's amazing. But yeah, so we're going to use her card for inspiration, and it's going to be fun. And I did do some prep work, but I have not tried this technique on my own. So we're going to see what happens. I did see Dawn checking in. Susan's here. Melanie's checking in from California. Kim's here. Lori from Wisconsin. Maria's here. Virginia's back again. Thank goodness. Annette from Montreal, Michelle from Ohio, Leslie's checking back in from British Columbia, and Jeanette is here as well. I'm so glad to see everybody. Two announcements, well, two and a half, right? So yesterday on our live, we talked about that Pink and Main is a sponsor of the Card Maker Success Summit, which is a free summit that's happening next weekend, March, I believe, 8th through the 10th. And so Michelle's going to do a special live exclusive for that on Sunday, the 10th. So if you haven't already, you can go to last night's live on Facebook or Instagram, and you can reserve your free ticket for the summit where I will also be teaching. But two more new announcements that I'm excited to share. Scrapbooking Cards Today announced that their Crop and Create virtual event in September is coming, and they're going to be opening registration in March for that. And Michelle is going to be teaching as a part of that with Pink and Main as well. And then tonight, Simon Says Stamp announced that tickets will go on sale tomorrow for their Create Live in-person event in Ohio in May. And Pink and Main is a part of that as well. So you have lots of options for different ways to get some bonus Pink and Main content and some bonus content from me. So I hope that you're excited about all of those things. I'm very excited for all of that. I do see even more people checking in. Let's see. Sue's checking in from Florida. Leslie just got her February kit. I love that. Peggy's also checking in from Florida. Thank you guys so much. Melissa is here from Nova Scotia. She's part of what led to this very interesting wobble tower we're going to work on. So yeah, yes, Virginia, I'm sorry. I am very glad that you are back and that COVID did not slow you down for too long. Cindy's checking in from Florida too. We got a whole amazing crew here. So I'm gonna get us switched over on the camera so you guys can see what I'm working with, because there's a lot of stuff. It's a lot. Okay. Mars is here from Ohio too. Lots of Ohio people. You should definitely be on the lookout for that Simon Says Stamp information tomorrow. I think they're doing a live for that Create event. It's in Columbus. Okay, so here are the main things that I have prepped and ready to go. I have an 8.5 by 3.5 panel of pebble cardstock that you can see my greasy fingers have been on, but that's okay because that's going to get covered up. I have a piece of ice rink cardstock that I die cut with one of the slim stitched rectangle dies. So it's just a little bit smaller. It's about 8 by 3. right? So it's going to give us that little bit of a mat. Oh, that's fun. Michelle's checking in from Puerto Rico. Melissa said Jennifer McGuire did a spinning easel card. That sounds, if this wobble card feels different for me, that sounds like it's going to be a whole nother species. But Jennifer does a really great job explaining, so I will try to watch that and see if there's anything we can adapt. So I also have the, oh goodness, I want to say it's like a bunny greetings. I don't remember. It's in the description. This really fun Easter stencil that has the eggs, hearts, carrots, and bunnies. And then these like two different styles of bunnies. So we're gonna ink with that. And then the stars of our show from the spring mugs set, I stamped and die cut 4 of the Easter egg mug. We're going to do 4 of the same mug where Sylvie did 4 or 5 different mugs, like from the set. We're going to just do the 4 of the same. And then I also heat embossed the sentiment with the lilac glitter embossing powder that we know and love now. So it has just a little sparkle, and that's going to go at the bottom of our card to match our inks. And speaking of inks, we're going to attempt to make a springy, Eastery rainbow with Dress Shop, Construction, Lakeview, and Night Sky. So, perfect. Yes, and then Bunny Trail Stencil. Thank you, Michelle. And then, oh, I see Julie's checking in too. And Laura from Southern California. I didn't have fishing line, so what I did grab was this like clear nylon-y, but it's stretchy. It's like friendship bracelet string that I got from Amazon for my kids, so they could make their Taylor Swift friendship bracelets and friendship bracelets for their friends. So I think the stretchy will work just as good as the regular, but if you have fishing line instead, I think that's fine. I think it's fun to kind of test both and see which one, if there's a difference, but I don't think there's going to be a difference. The other thing I just realized I forgot is a coin. So let me grab that really quick. Here. She put like a little penny on hers, Miss Sylvie. So I think I'll do a dime. It's for size sake. No one tell the government, please. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really fun rainbow. I think it'll definitely be interesting. Okay, so I think what I want to do is start with our stencil and like start building that base part of our card, because I think we're going to color, but I just haven't fully wrapped my head around how the colors are going to divide across our 4 cards, because in my brain, I want to do 3 cups. I want to do pink and orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and that's not going to work because we need 4 cards to fill in this panel. So I want to see how everything looks once we get the inks blended and what those colors really look like where they overlap first. And then from there, we'll use that to make our decision for the rest of our project. All right, so I'm using this line on the edge to try to make sure that this is pretty straight. And we will add some washi tape on the sides just to hold this in place. We need to get some of those magnets with this board. See if my Wendy Becky ones don't really work. I bet my Misty one will, but one magnet will be better than nothing. Yeah. Oh, Jeanette, I'm so glad. Jeanette just got this stencil. I love it. I think it's so much fun. Oh, that magnet's start doing much. It sounds like it should, but it's not really holding anything. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least now I know. I'm going to start with the pink. I'm going to grab a piece of, I have all of this printer paper under my little desk drawer from all these times we've embossed, or I don't want to make this huge mess. So I can clean off this, this glass mat, but it'll be easier if I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to tap on some color and tap a little bit back off and start on the paper up top and my stencil and do soft circles onto my cardstock, because I do want this to still have like a good bit of color, but it's still like a springy Easter vibe. I'm not going for fluorescent, right? We still want it a little softer. And this is nice because it's striped, right? So we can try to be like, okay, so pink will like overlap there, orange to like the yellow, teal, purple. So we definitely need to come down a little bit more. And we can always take like a little peek, make sure we like where this is headed. Yeah, I do, Melissa, I do like that idea. Maybe like a little bit more monochromatic on the mugs. I think once we see it though, once we see this part, I think it'll be a little bit more clear. It'll be an easier decision. So I'm gonna make sure that my construction ink overlaps that pink where those carrots are. And then also pull that down. I want it the most intense kind of on this center area where where the eggs are and the bunnies, but it can lighten up a little bit down towards the bottom, because where I overlap it with the lake view, I want to make sure, or is it lakeside? Lakeside. I want to make sure that it's making kind of a green. Hey, Nina, I am glad that you made it. And Kendra's here too. Connie's here. Man, last night and tonight is like, we're really stepping it up. Thank you guys so much. All right, so we're going to come in with a lake view, and I'm starting underneath, and then I'm going to bring that up just a little bit to overlap kind of along these stripes. And we can always go back in and add more. Better to start off a little softer. And this might not fully turn rainbow, right? They still might be a little bit more separate, but that's also fine, because that, like we said before, that might help make up my mind with how we color our mugs. So now we're going in with night sky. And again, overlapping some of those stripes with the lake side. All right. Let's see. Oh, that's so pretty. So we definitely still got, I think, a really nice transition between all of those colors. I really like that. That's so pretty. Okay, well, at least we know that part turned out good. One less thing to worry about. You, Judith, you are good. Don't even worry about that part. We are still getting started, still diving in. Okay, so I love it with the pebble matte. I think that that's very cute. I love the tan. So now we have our 4 mugs, and these are going to stack like this on our card. And our sentiment, which is purple, is going to go down here with our bunnies, which is why I also made that purple. So let's see where these kind of fall on the color scale. It doesn't have to be exact, but yeah, I think we're good with like mostly pink and then maybe a little orange, like a brighter orange to like maybe a soft yellow, a little bit of a green to a teal, and then maybe like blue to purple, but we'll keep them all a little softer and it doesn't have to be a dramatic shift. But I definitely like where this is headed. So let's start with our top one. Oh, thank you so much, Jeanette. Jeanette said, I'm brave for putting the orange or the green, the teal between the orange and purple. And I agree, it could have gotten messy. But because I went in and added more orange here and left this part really soft with the orange, and because this orange specifically does lean more yellow than red, um, when we added the teal over those stitch lines, it did have kind of like a soft green effect. It pulled that yellow out of it more than the orange. And then, yeah, the purple and the teal is just beautiful. We've played around with those colors before. But yeah, it's kind of just playing and also using a light hand. If we went in with a ton of ink for all of it, it probably would have gotten a little crazy, which is now what we're looking. All right, so let's do some pinks. Those look, Dress Shop is definitely more in the RV kind of bluey pinks. So let's grab, and I still, again, want this to be very soft. So I'm gonna go with RVO4, RVO2, and RV00, I think. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. All right, so we're going to go RV04 first. And I'm going to, this one's going on the top. So this is the only one that you're going to see that top edge. And I'm going to kind of skip every other section, I think. Right. We'll do those two next to each other, but then we'll skip this skinny stripe again. And you guys know I don't usually die cut my pieces first, but with how much we've got going on, I figured I needed to. So then we're going to jump to RVO2 and fill that in. Fill in our little circles. Pull that down. Maybe we'll bring in like one really soft, more like peachy color. Or a scrap. That could be fun. Let's notice blend. Okay. And then with the RV00. I'm going to kind of pull in, fill in some of that white space, pull in from the edges. And I think YR82, maybe on the bottom there. Right, it's like a little subtle. We'll go back in with the RV04 on the handle. RV02, pull that out. Needs a little more shading on the sides. Okay. And then RV00. All right. So that's pink. And we can see how it kind of ties right in. Okay, so we'll kind of like introduce some of that color into the next one, and maybe in the purple we'll just do like a deeper purple. So pink is good. Pink is taken care of. Yeah, Melissa, I used to, when I started my lives with Pink and Main, I also die cut them and then backed them. But I found that most of the time it was faster. It was just as fast for me to add the dyes and run it through the machine on like a normal day when I'm not trying to get a ton of stuff, like a crazy card done. Because Pink and Main's dyes, the way they're laid out on the card, they're just really easy to use. And you don't have to like cut anything apart. I'm trying to grab my text chart. All right, so hey Becky, thanks for checking in with us. I want these very like peachy oranges. I don't want like pumpkin orange. So YRO or YR82 is kind of what we just used. Maybe we'll add in some YR65 and then YR00 or one, maybe 20. Sure. All right. So same idea, YR65 to start. I'm still going to fill in this top part, even though I know it's probably not going to get seen. When it wobbles, if it shifts at all, at least I won't have to worry about it. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm going to post that up so everybody can read it, Julie. But I'm very glad that you got your package and that it came on your birthday. What lovely timing. Once you get to play with that courtyard kit, I'd love to hear more of your thoughts on it. I know Kendra was in the comments. She loves the courtyard kits and she usually does a great video with them each month when she can. They work really great with her card challenge. So we love that. And this YR20 is just a little bit more yellow. It's just a little bit more of like a creamy golden color. So that is going to help kind of warm this up. Oh my gosh. She used half the paper pack already. Well, I love that. It's so nice when like a pattern paper, like a kit of things just speaks to you. You know, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it too, trying to pick, you know, what products and what colors to put together. All right, because we're jumping to our teals, I'm going to go in with a little bit of BG11. And that will hint to the next mug color, just like that. It's a little different, a little fun. So let's go BG23. Consult my hex chart one more time. I think 45. So my darkest is going to be BG45. Pull that in from sides. So I know this part is a little repetitive. But once these are good to go, I think the actual assembly part, like Melissa was saying, it doesn't seem super difficult. And the end result is just so stinking cute. It's not like a typical interactive card where you think of like, you know, multiple pieces you have to put together and pull here and swipe there. And I love those style of cards too. But this is just like anybody could make and also use this interactive card because you just kind of shimmy it. Like I just picture like a younger kid getting this card and like dancing around the house, making these mugs shake. It's cute. Oh, perfect. Kendra said she's going to be sharing her unboxing video with the kit, March kit soon. So love to hear that. You guys should make sure that you're subscribed to Kendra's channel, Cards by Kendra, in the comments there. She's always got the kit scoop. I'm going to guess Julie with the paper artist is also either on it or certainly probably willing to answer questions if you guys have questions about the kit or what she thinks. I'm going to bring in a little bit of BG10. Just over those middle sections, just so it's not so stark. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm so glad. Yes, I always leave my Copic markers on the glass top so you can see the colors. And when I do my YouTube channel videos, like on my personal channel, I always leave the lids. And anytime that I can, I try to write each color I used down in the description too, because I know when I was starting out, that information was like a game changer to me. So. I always like to make sure I can give you guys that information whenever I can. All right, so I'm going V12, violet 12. Bottom of this guy, right? Again, just to kind of sneak and start pulling in that purple. And then we're going to have to go from that more violet purple to a little bit more of like a grapey down at the bottom. So that is our mission with this one. Let's go 17, 15, 12. And really don't want to pull in any pink at the bottom to tie like back up to the top. I guess we'll just go a deeper purple. So I'll save a darker purple for that little swoosh at the bottom. That'll be fine. So let's go E17. Hey, Barbara. Glad you could make it to hang out. I am also very curious. I know some of you may know my day job is in the planner field, like paper planners, like calendar planners. And so I'm curious, I know the paper world, the planner world and the card making world are not very far from each other. So I was wondering if anyone here is a planner girly. Curious to know. So we went from V17, now we're working on V15. Just trying to pull in and break up some of the color. Okay. Then B17. We're pretty much gonna like fill all of it. Oh, that's so fun. Julie said she's going to start some planner tutorials on her blog. I love that. Donna and her husband use planners religiously. Love that. Kim loves planners and cards. Um, and Michelle is working on her daily planner and her reading journal, getting them ready for March. That's so exciting. I figured there would be a really good overlap there. I love that. This is like a little darker than I originally was thinking. the color story-wise for the purples that Copic has and that I own. I still just think this is my best bet, unless we were going to make the bottom white. But I think that looks pretty cool. So there are all of our little mugs. I really like how they kind of ombre together. Yeah, Julia, I love that. I love the idea of like making them or doing like a dot journal and turning that into a planner. I just think there's so much potential there for that overlap. Okay, so we are going to prep this panel first. And what Sylvie did, actually, I just undid what I needed to do. All right, so our words are going to go at the bottom over our bunnies. We have to stack these up where and how we want them to be layered. So I think like that looks pretty good. And then we're going to take some very low tack tape. This is from Heffy Doodle. And we're going to stick those together and flip them over. So, right, so we know they're laid out right where we want them to be. We are going to take our string, which I know is hard to see, but I promise it's here. We're going to take our string and we are going to tape this down with washi, actual washi tape, a little stronger than the Heffy Doodle. And we want to leave a tail at the top. And we're going to tape each cup, but we're not going to pull our string super tight. I think because I'm using stretchy, like bracelet string, it would even be a little bit more forgiving. But we are going to tape this the whole way down. Not solid, but every cup needs some tape to make sure that it stays in place. We are going to foam this too. Okay, and then when we trim it, again, we're going to leave a tail. Okay, so now I have this sweet little cup sandwich going. Okay, and the next thing Sylvie did was she took her cups and a ruler and a pencil. It's gonna have to work. Just no, because it's going on a regular paper. So hello, pens. And so she kind of was like marked the bottom of where her string was going to go into the card, kind of in the center of her card panel. So let's say like there. And then also at the top. Okay. And then what she did, which I thought was a very fun, and I forgot to grab ahead of time, was she took pretty much like any tiny die from another Pink and Main set. So we're going to use this little heart from the new Spring Peekers, but any tiny die, any shape that you have would work. And she ran that through. There's two hearts, right? Just like that. So my dies are kind of right around the area that I put my little pen mark. You can also, if you have a hole punch that fits, by all means use that. But I checked and my hole punch did not want to reach that far. So instead of forcing it or messing up my paper, I figured I would just do what Sylvie did. She's our fearless leader on this one, so we're just going to trust her that that will work. Okay, so then what we do is with everything still stuck together, we're going to thread one end of our string through the top and the other end of our string. You know what I forgot was the penny or dime, whatever I'm adding. I don't know if I need the dime. I don't know how I'm supposed to tape that on. I'm sure she did like super glue or something. I'm just going to use tape. I don't know, guys. You know, I'm just I don't want to tape the two together. Is that on? Yeah, it's on. That's good enough. Okay, now for real, our string's going through the top die cut and through the bottom die cut. And we're going to tape that one more time. I just want to make sure that my egg is covering that hole in our paper, and it is. And then the same on the bottom. Oh yeah, more than enough room. We're gonna, and I'm not pulling this super tight. Okay, that. Now we can remove our heavy doodle here, and our eggs can kind of shimmy like a little wobbling tower of cups. Oh my God, that's so stinking cute. It's so silly. But they do have a good shimmy shake to them. They're not going to fly anywhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to trim the extra string off. We're going to coat the whole back of this thing with foam tape, which I have my beautiful new roll here. Oh, Donna. Donna's checking in from California. All right, let's. Now, I'm putting foam because Sylvie put foam, but I'm pretty sure, like, structurally wise, you don't have to. This could still be a flat card. Just put this. It's not like the string needs room to breathe or anything. But I love foam tape, and Sylvie adding it was like the no-brainer to me that we would also then add it. I am going to stand up to make sure that we get this lined up really nicely on our panel, though. That looks pretty good. Obviously, in real life, you would want to pop this onto a slimline card base. So we'll just pretend that I did that, okay? And we're going to go in with some liquid glue and add our sentiment, may your cup overflow with joy, right down to the bottom. All right. And that is our little shimmy shake wobbling tower of Easter mugs. You guys, thank you so much to Melissa for requesting this one. I don't think I would have ever tried it on my own. But Sylvie knocked it out of the park, and please make sure you go give her some love. I do think that the penny at the top is adding something, by the way. I think it is moving it around really well. Um, but yeah, I hope this, right? I hope this inspires you to not only try a new technique, but try changing up your color story, try doing like a stenciled background with a coordinating color scheme on your colored images, because even just that was really fun. But I can't stop like shaking this. I'm sure that's probably annoying to somebody, but I can't stop moving this thing around. It's so fun. And it feels pretty sturdy, right? Especially because the one I used is stretchy. It feels like, it would take a lot to break it. So that's so fun. If you guys end up making one like this or inspired by this, please tag Pink and Main so that we can see it on Instagram or wherever. You can always tag me too, Caitlin Annalie Cards on Instagram and YouTube. I'd love to see anything you guys make that was inspired by our time together. I agree, Susan, the egg cups are adorable. Those are from the spring mugs. And you can use all of them, one of them, whatever you want to do. Yeah, everybody, seriously, this was so much easier than I thought it was going to be with the string. So a 10 out of 10. I highly recommend you try it, even if it's just once to see how it goes. I don't think there's any way you would regret it. Maybe you won't start making every single card that way, but you certainly wouldn't regret making one that way. So thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. There we go. Let's get this out of the way. Like I said at the start of the show, if you or of our live, like I'm on TV, the show, no, as I said at the start of our live tonight, there are 3 new and exciting places that you can check out Pink and Main for more classes and knowledge and tips and tricks. So we have the Cardmaker Success Summit that is happening virtually next weekend. And Michelle is doing an exclusive live with them. I'm teaching a class with them as well. You can go to last night's live on Facebook or YouTube to get the link to reserve your free ticket for that. It's totally free to attend. Scrapbook and Cards Today announced that they're having their Crop and Create event, which is also a virtual one. That's in September. Registration for that is opening at the end of March or middle of March. And Michelle from Pink and Main, our fearless leader, she's going to be teaching a class with them. And then Simon Says Stamp announced today that they are having an in-person event, Create, which is called Create. It's in Ohio in May, and tickets for that will go on sale tomorrow. And Pink and Main is going to be there with Make and Takes. So it's going to be really fun. Lots of things going on over here. Very busy spring. If you guys have any questions or ideas for next week, requests, this is Melissa's like second or third time of making a request, and then whatever we made ended up being great. So please keep them coming. I love all of your ideas. Thank you guys so much for all of your comments, all of your questions. Nina asked if the cord should be stretchy. I don't think it has to be, but if you have bracelet cord, I think personally I feel safer with it being stretchy, especially in shipping. If something brushed against it, I wouldn't be worried about it pulling the tape. But if you have fishing line, I don't think you'd be wrong to try that, because I'm pretty sure that's what got used the first time. So yeah, keep your questions coming, keep the ideas flowing. If I don't see anything, I'll figure something out fun for us to do on Tuesday, because next week we go back to our normal schedule, Tuesday and Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And until next week, guys, I hope that you have an amazing weekend. Stay safe. And until then, happy crafting. Have a good night.